Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Lover Pretend, continuing Yukito's route. And finally told Hirari that he's not interested, damn it, leave me alone. Yeah, so anyway, that's where, oh, I had the emotional moment. Oh, I feel so much for her. I mean, yes, I get it, but they did just kind of, again, it's just one of those scenarios where they made the drama with her being a love rival, kind of, and that's fine. And like, it's fine that she didn't believe that we were fake dating because we were fake dating. But like, I think they could have done a little bit better with it, with not making him have told her countless times, not gonna date you. You know, if she had just confessed maybe that one time where he ran and pretended we were his girlfriend, that would have made it a little more believable. Like, okay, she doesn't believe we're really dating, and this is the first time she confessed, and she's had feelings for him for a while, type of a thing. And even if he's like, yeah, I kind of got the feeling she had feelings for me, but she never outright said it. But they make it like, oh, she's confessed to him so many times, and he's always kind of been like, nope. But like, because he wasn't like, never gonna have, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Like, they're gonna kind of blame him for not being direct with her, but they make her like a psychopath, but then they want you to like her as a character, which I don't think she's a bad character. I just think this is another one of those scenarios where like it doesn't make sense that you made her like a clingy psycho when that's not really who she is. You know what I mean? Like everything else that you've done with her is like decent relatable character who was kind of into him, didn't believe we were fake dating, but not someone who has confessed multiple times he said no to and just can't get the fucking hint. You know what I mean? Like I just don't believe that someone that is that much of a psychopath that can't take no and is a crazy bitch is just going to be like, "Oh, okay, now I see you're in love. Okay, bye." And then like be cool with it. That's not believable. So, if you want to make her the kind of likable, understandable character, don't have had him kind of tell her no a million times before and have her being like a psycho. Maybe following him around, always showing up where he is, but never having confessed to him. And maybe that's an issue with the translation or whatever, because like they made it seem pretty clear that like he's constantly always told her he can't date her, but we were like, oh, that's not nice. You should tell her no. Like he's already told her no, so like why are we blaming him? You know? So take that out, and like everything else is kind of a little more understandable, and she's a little more sympathetic, and I like her better. But with the whole like the way they wrote her in the beginning, it was like, no, I don't like this bitch. So like you can't flip flop. I don't know. Again, it's just one of those things where you've got this big picture of this character that kind of makes sense, and then they have this little thing that this character does that is completely not fitting in this puzzle. And what the fuck? So overall, I really like this game, but it just the consistency here is that the characters are extremely inconsistent, and it's like there's two different people writing this, and they just kind of shove shit together, and you're like, this doesn't make sense. Like, it doesn't make sense. But anyway, so like, I give like them in the writing like a 7.5 out of 10 because like those things aren't very consistent, and I don't think you thought about that, and I feel like you should think about those things if you're writing a story. Like, there's always going to be tiny little plot holes, but you're like, this is a little bit of a plot hole, but like, okay, but this is like, this is blatant. It doesn't fucking make sense in every route. So like, you're consistently inconsistent with your characters, which is odd. But like, anyway, it's weird. I don't feel like other games like I've noticed this much. Like, what the fuck is happening? Like, this doesn't make any sense. Like, you know. Anyway, we sat alone in silence for a moment. Sorry for the noise, mister. The bartender smiled and shook his head. A bar is a place to speak from the heart. Yeah, thanks. But, I didn't think you'd cry, too. I mean, it must have been so painful for her, but she still managed to stand her ground until the end. I mean, and then this. Okay, I understand being a little emotional. Like, man, I'm a little emotional and proud of her, but we're snotballing here? Like, okay, this listen, you're trying to make, again, Kirari way more sympathetic. I think overall, I mean, yes, I think she's sympathetic and I understand us being a little emotional, be like, oh, I'm proud of her and like she's awesome. But that's how you wanted us to feel. And I know that's how I should feel. And part of me is like, yeah, okay, it makes sense. But another part of me is like, you made her a psycho from the fucking beginning. So like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think this has the impact it should. And I'm like, I want to slap our character and be like, fucking simmer it down, bitch. What the shit? She was a psycho. But she really wasn't. But you know what I mean? Like, you can't paint her as a psycho from the very beginning and then turn it around and then me be like, oh, actually, it's like, she was a good person. I think some of the other things we said about her and like the way we got to her later on was more believable, but you painted her as like a complete and utter sociopath in the beginning. Like, what the fuck? Like, I don't know. She even used my name. Isn't that big of a deal? I've never had any female friends who call me by my name. And again, we're friends with her now? That's, you know what, I mean, okay. I'll try to let it go, but I can't. Oh. Renati's just so awesome. She's cute, she's strong, and she's wonderful. You sure let a big fish get away, Yukito. We need to have a little more self-confidence. A big fish? Come on. Hey, you're my girlfriend, you know. Shouldn't you act a little happier or relieved that you beat your rival? Well, I can't help it when I think about how she must feel. Ugh. And I wasn't aware that... And then it's like, a love rival. I mean, but she didn't have a chance. All right. You can't help but care. I gotcha. You're crying even more than Kirari did. I mean, I would also probably, like, if somebody was really emotional, be emotional because I'm an emotional person, but, like, this is also a little weird. Like, I understand being a little, like, he's like, why are you getting emotional over this? And it's like, I'm just, I mean, and I understand having a little bit of self-doubt, like, are you sure you want to date this potato when that, like, piece of fucking art just walked out? You know what I mean? Like, I get it. Okay. And it's nice that he's like, yeah, but I love you, so, like, get over it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, but this, like, sobbing hysterically over is a little bit too much, and praising Kirari constantly is a little too much. Like, girl, get a little bit of self-confidence. I'm okay with having those, like, slight questions, like, are you sure about this? Because I would also be the same. But, like, she's amazing and awesome and beautiful. Okay, simmer down, girl. Are you in love with her? Good lord. Well, while saying so, Yukito tenderly brushed a lock of hair away from my teary cheeks. Spacey, Kirari's a good person, and I have absolute confidence in my choice. I don't think I'll ever regret choosing you. Or are you lacking in confidence? Obviously. Maybe you don't believe in me, huh? With that, Yukito studied my face for a reaction. I absolutely do. I mean, I question your sanity dating me, but like, whatever. He pulled me closer, and I looked away from his handsome profile for a moment. Do I even need to say it? I believe in you. Of course I believe in you. Isn't it obvious? Oh, love points. No. Yukito seemed taken aback by my immediate answer. But, that has nothing to do with this. Yeah. Damn, I want to hug you so bad right now. After we've been talking a while, I noticed the time. Wow, it really flew by. Hey, Yukito, we have work early in the morning. Shouldn't we be going home? How won't you join me for one more drink? But how about I put it this way? I want to stay with you a little longer. I can just go to your house. Just as cuddle. I'm not thinking anything inappropriate. I'm absolutely thinking something inappropriate, but she wouldn't, so. Yukito's smile was so gorgeous, it made my heart flutter. I turned away to hide my heated face. As long as you choose my next drink for me. Okay, I got this. Once he ordered, the bartender retrieved an empty glass and worked his magic once again. Yukito's never ordered a grasshopper for anyone until you. Oh! A few days later... So you don't have to do the sub-manager gig anymore, right? Yeah, the other manager finally came back to work. Also, this is a problem I have to solve on my own. I'm sure I'll go soft if you're around all the time. So trust in me and cheer me on from afar, okay? Are you serious? Are we gonna take a break from our boyfriend? No, you can't do this! I mean, you did it in Harumi's route, and he came back, like, hot as shit. So, like, I'm okay with that, but also, this is supposed to be the happy end. I feel like he's gonna pull through this time. Oh, probably just for the audition. Like, I need to do this on my own type of a thing for the audition. So it's like a temporary, like, all right, I'll see you in a week. You know, business, you know, like, as if your husband or boyfriend was traveling for business. You'd be like, all right, you don't go with him, you know? He's got the determination of a hero during the final boss battle. I can respect that. I love the fact that our two prior boyfriends are sitting here having this conversation about our current one. A bit hyperbolic, but sure. I laughed at Makino's analogy, feeling grateful for my two friends' consideration. They'd invited me out for tea today because they knew I was worried about Yukito's audition. What's going on anyway? Yukito was amazing in the short film, and I was looking forward to seeing him on screen. The problem isn't with his skills, but rather the judge's impression of him. I sat in on a meeting with my father and the sponsors once. It was a repugnant display of excuses and rationalizations. Makino's got a scary look in his eyes. He does, but I love his angry face. Look, I love both of these faces! I love Kazuma's, like, sad, perplexed face. His little pout is adorable. And Makino's determined, like, glare is also great. I love both of these sprites. He's angry for Yukito's sake, though. That makes me happy. A smile bloomed on my face. I'm sure he'll be fine. He says he will be, so I have absolute faith in him. Goodness, Ueda. Spacey. And those little smirks are cute, too. An instant later, our warm and fuzzy vibe was shattered. Kazuma fixed me with a meaningful stare. What? Why are you looking at me like that? Spacey, did I what? Did you do it? Did you two play hide the sausage? Oh my god. Oh my god. Kazuma, what the fuck? Oh god, this moment's great. Oh dear god. Oh, I swear to god. The fucking music in the background too. Did you two play hide the sausage? Could you not phrase it like we're 12? What? My entire body flushed hot at the blatant question. What? Hide what sausage? Oh, Harumi. You're more innocent than we are. At least I got it. Makino looked totally lost while Kazuma leaned in and studied my reaction closely. So, come on, tell us. This is the most awkward fucking conversation. Not actually. No, we've had very awkward... it is just this season of awkward conversations. We've had very awkward conversations recently in Pia Fiore. I'm not sure where the posting for that one going up is. But... So I don't know if we've gotten past it or it's upcoming. But, like, there were some awkward... what? Jesus! Simmer down! What is happening here? And it was fucking hilarious. And this is up there, too. Like, good God, stop it. I can't... Oh, my God. Hey, quit it! Stop yelling all this weird stuff out loud! Oh, you tapped that. It's written all over your face. Sheesh, and after everything you said about him. Well, I have my reasons. I did what now? We didn't even, we barely got a kiss. We got kissed, but like, hello? I expect the game to give me a little more of a warning that we've done other things. I don't think we've gone that far. Uh-huh. I'm sure you do. Well, playtime is over. Spill the beans. Kazuma, shut up! Ugh. Fine, I'll explain everything. And that's how it happened. And Makino's over there blushing because he's like, he didn't even know what hide the sausage was, and he was not ready for this conversation. I felt embarrassed as I concisely wrapped up the story. Each of them had very different reactions. I'm having a complete reaction too, because, like, hello? Like, Makino had been stunned into silence. His face was flaming hot and his eyes darted all over the place. For some reason, Kazuma was loudly sucking on his straw and glaring at me. I mean, if we're telling the story of how we fell for Yukito, but were we telling the story about how we had sex with him? Because again, we didn't get to see any of that. I didn't even get it like, oh, we went home and then things happened. Like, okay, give me some. This is not how you present this to us as the character. I'm just saying. Why are you guys so quiet? What should I say? Sorry, I was just surprised. I guess congratulations are in order. I'm assuming it's just talking about dating him and not having sex because it's a weird conversation, but oh, that's kind of you. Thank you. Congratulations on sleeping with Yukito. Thanks. I mean, I feel like that's not where this is going, but it's awkward if you think of it in that sense. I returned Makino's dip of the head with one of my own, then turned back to Kazuma. He didn't even blink. He's still staring, and his face was so grim. I fucking love his angry face. My joy soured a little. Are you happy with him? Huh? He's making you happy, right? Taking good care of you? I was taken aback by how stern and vigorous Kazuma's tone was. It shook me. Was I happy? I thought it over. What? What's so funny? I'm seriously asking you. Kazuma. What? It's okay. I'm happy. Huh. I see. Good then. Oh, you're acting like a stubborn boomer dad. Huh? Hey, Makino, I'm younger than you know. Boomer for real? You really seemed like one, though. I don't think you had to call him a boomer dad. I feel like, okay, that's... Don't date yourself like that, game. But, like, you're acting like my dad. Absolutely. Dude, stop laughing. For a moment, Kazuma covered his face in a fluster. Also, I'm just gonna throw this out there for you whippersnappers. Everyone older than you isn't a boomer. And, like, acting like our dad, in this case, would be Gen X. So, like, is different. Your grandma is your boomer, okay? Just put that out there. We are, like, in our 20s. Which, does that make us Zoomers? Oh, God, what shit. But, like, our parents could be on the elder millennial or Gen X spectrum. So, like, yeah. Calling everyone boomers is a little fucking dated when you're calling people that are probably, like, millennials boomers. So, like, that just makes you look dumb. Stop doing it. But in the same respect, that I'm just gonna start calling everybody a zoomer. Oh, dear God. But seriously, our parents would be... well, no, because I think elder millennials starting to hit the 40s, huh? Yeah. So, like, Hanai is on that elder millennial / Gen X cusp. I'm really trying to ignore my bird who's downstairs screaming right now, but I want to chuck something down the stairs. It wouldn't hit him. I would never throw anything at him, but Jesus Christ. I just want him to shut up. Anyway, for a moment, Kazuma covered his face in a fluster. So yeah, I'm just saying. He's not really acting like a boomer. He's just acting like a dad. Distinction. And if anything happens to you, I think I'm the only guy who'll get as angry as your father would. If Yukito makes you cry, I'll storm over and fight him for you anytime. So just tell me if you ever need help. Aw. While it was embarrassing, I was delighted to hear him say it so earnestly, and at least in this one, he's acting more protective like a friend, a family member, and not that weird little aggressive moment he had in Makino's route, you know what I mean? Where you're like, what are you... Weird. Like, this is a little more understandable for the Kazuma character, and like, you know, yeah, he's being a little protective and everything, but he's our only family, so I get it. Every one of Kazuma's words carried warmth. He lifted me up and made me smile. He's acting like a best friend, a brother, father. You know what I mean? He's doing, and that's perfectly fine. Like, this doesn't bother me, and it doesn't make me, oh, God. Thanks, Kazuma. But that weird little, he was getting aggressive, and Makino's route was a little fucking bizarre. After that, I said goodbye to Kazuma and Makino and slowly made my way home, bubbling over with joy. They were genuinely worried about Yukito, too. I felt kind of shy calling him my boyfriend, though. Although, I mean, again, that whole conversation was Kazuma being like, you've had sex with him, and like, Wickbonald. Wickbonald. But you know what I mean? And like, we were just explaining how we started dating him. I don't think we were explaining how we've slept with him. So like, because again, if that happened, I'm a little disappointed, game. Show, don't tell. Like, but not also, please don't actually show it, but give us some indication aside from, okay, well, and then we go, and then you're like, what has happened? You know what I'm saying? I just, no, this is not how you do it. I don't want to read graphic depictions, but I also don't want this where I'm like, or is that what we were supposed to infer from that? Because it seems like that's what you wanted us to infer from that, but also, unless I get like, oh, we went home together and spent a wonderful night of passion or something. Well, something like that where I'm like, I need it to be, like, you don't, make me wonder. It needs to be clear. And this is, like, questionable. And I don't like that. So anyway. Just then. Oh, excuse me. May I have a moment of your time? Huh? A man stepped in my path, blocking my way with a smirk. I instinctively edged away from the suspicious way he carried himself. I like that. I mean, I would be suspicious too. The man is like a shadow. You're an acquaintance of Yukito Seina, yes? Huh? Here's my card. I timidly took the business card he held out to me. It bore the name of a tabloid magazine. Is this guy really going to ask me about Yukito here? Mind having a chat? It'll only take a minute. Sorry, but I'm in a hurry. Whoa now, hey, don't be so nervous. Just a short chat, I assure you. Oh, or is there something you'd rather not say? The nerve of this guy! Clenching my teeth, I glared at the reporter. I'm wondering if this is where pretend time. Like, I'm gonna save for a hot second here. Because I'm wondering if this is... We have a pretend time coming up that we're supposed to save for. And I don't necessarily... I think this could be it. So I'm gonna take... And if not, we'll just save it when we get there. Anyway. Clenching my teeth, I glared at the reporter. If I just run off, I could give him the wrong impression. That could spell trouble for Yukito down the line. I couldn't let that happen. I steeled myself and faced the reporter head on. Yeah, okay. Because this is... Okay. Alright, cool. Good for me. Woo! Save the game? Nah, I'm not gonna bother, bitch. I already did, and I hate it when we save here because we don't get to skip. Pretend time. Mission. Evade the reporter's suspicions! Now, no need to be so cautious. Miss, I've heard you're Yukito Seina's manager. His manager? Oh, right, I just quit a few days ago. He wouldn't know. What should I say? Maybe I should go along with it so I don't complicate things. But it might be better to tell the truth so I don't cause problems later. Well? Those searching eyes. I can't give him an opening to pry further. Tell the truth? Be evasive. Introduce yourself. I stood up tall and kept a straight face. Yes, I'm Ueda, Seina's sub-manager. Do you have business with my client? Oh, you carry yourself very, very politely for your age. I must say it's a pleasure to meet you. This is my job, after all. Okay, I think I came off as professional. I should stick with that for now. Right, I've also seen that Yukito's been posting on his Minsta. Very exciting stuff, I must say. But based on that, might I infer that he's quite satisfied in his private life? The reporter rattled off his questions. All the while, he watched me like a hawk. I like the implication here. What's he after? Since I don't know what he's thinking, I can't let him talk me into a corner. I need to look confident. Is Yukito satisfied in his private life? That's a rude question. Thankfully, he's been keeping very busy. Because of that, he's complained that he doesn't get to take time off and have fun. But I believe there's no need for concern. Despite how he acts in public, he's actually very professional with the agency staff. Oh, I see. Well, that's good to hear. The reporter looked away to hide his irritation. No doubt he was miffed that he didn't get a rise out of me. Nice. By the way, have you heard of Kirari? She's a gravure idol. There are rumors that she secretly met Yukito at a bar in Roppongi recently. How does he know that? Swallowing down my rising anxiety, I tried to answer as carefully as I could. Was there a secret meeting? It's entirely groundless. I was there too, actually. I did go to a bar recently, and yes. In fact, I was there as well. You were? Yes, I encountered Cunardi there, but I declined to sit with her. She deserves her privacy, after all. I see. Frustration creased the reporter's face at my direct response. You know, having one's manager along as camouflage is a classic tactic of stars. I've also heard that Cunardi's been quite fond of Yukito since her own debut. Seems rather suggestive to me. Any thoughts on that? Oh, now he's getting to the point. I shouldn't seem too self-conscious when I reply. Is there something between Cunardi and Yukito? Enough of these questions, he dotes on her. That sounds a little more romantic than I feel like it should come off. Zane has doted on Cunardi as if she were his sister since she got her start. But he keeps very clear boundaries, so there isn't anything more going on between them. I don't think that's the case. Even if it's true for Yukito, Cunardi is... Unfortunately, I'm not in a position to speak on that matter. Please reach out to our agency. You're quite serious about your job, miss. I won't let him slither any closer to them. Especially because it's like, oh, she's in love with him. It's like, I can't speak on that, but, you know, he just thinks of her as a sister. Because it's not, you can't be like, oh my god, yeah, she's totally into him. Like, don't speak on her feelings, even though you know them. Still, that means Yukito didn't go to the bar to meet Cunardi. Which leaves you, the sub-manager. Were you his lovely companion at the bar then? Huh? One would think that, wouldn't they? You're a quite pretty young lady. Somehow I doubt a famous womanizing model would hire someone like you as a manager for no reason. Aren't you happy you get to be with the Yukito? Ugh. How about it? You get to be with him in multiple ways if you catch my drift. Your answer, miss? The reporter's provocative stare made me gulp. I've encountered people like this in my research. They try to piss you off so you slip up and say what you're really thinking. I need to stay calm. Keep your temper! Let the agency handle it. Name drop Professor Asagi. This is interesting that we name drop Professor Asagi. You may have already learned this beforehand, but I'm a student of Eiichiro Asagi, the screenwriter. I only took this job because he recommended it to me. Wait, the Eiichiro Asagi? Is that really true? Yes, you can even confirm that with him. Satisfied? You're a student, and you were referred by him. I'm sorry for bringing you into this, Professor, but it saved my skin. That seemed to have thrown the reporter off. Let me ask something else. Looking downtrodden, the reporter racked his brain for another question. I straightened my posture. It seems like you've no further questions. In that case, I'll be going now. I'm in a hurry. Oh, hey, wait, please! Can we talk a little more? I feel like we should have been like, yeah, I don't have any comments. Yes, I am a sub-manager. I was filling in for the other one on a temporary basis, but now that they're back, I'm no longer in that position, so you should address your questions to them. I mean, I feel like that would have covered it, but sure, whatever. Please, that's enough. I'm not going to answer any more of your questions. How do I get away? At this rate, he'll really drag it out of me. Hey, Spacey! What? I whipped around at the sound of my name. Hey, Kazuma. I'm glad I caught you. You left your house key back at the cafe. Oh. Spacey, you know this guy? I shook my head. He says he writes for a magazine and he keeps asking me about Yukito. A magazine reporter? Taking note of my downcast gaze, Kazuma stepped between me and the reporter. Yeah, this is what... When he's like, hey, you're like, oh, good, Kazuma to the rescue. But he wasn't even coming over to rescue you, but he's gonna do it anyway, and I'm here for it. You got something to say to my girlfriend, pal? Girlfriend? That's right. So you got a problem with her, huh? The reporter looked back and forth between us. He scrunched up his face in spite and scurried off. Thank God, it's over. My heart was pounding and my knees began to shake. Hey, you okay? I am sorry. Thanks, Kazuma. You really saved me there. He's like, I'm just saying if you were my girlfriend, I'm just kidding. Don't worry about it. You handled them all by yourself, huh? I'm proud of you. Can't really answer questions about Yukito, right? Yeah. That's pretty impressive then. Most people would have frozen up, but you actually protected him. Did I? Sure you did. Oh, I managed to protect Yukito in his dreams of acting. The moment I thought that, big tears welled up in my eyes. Look, we're gonna cry because we're proud of ourselves. I would too. Whoa, what's wrong, Spacey? Are you hurt? No, I'm just so glad. For a while, the tears wouldn't stop. My God, she's more emotional than I am. As someone who cries all the time lately. Swear to God. I don't know what's wrong. Relief and joy spread through me, a balm after all the anxiety I'd been carrying. But, like, again, as someone who cries all the time, she cries a lot. Like, Jesus, simmer down. Literally me. I'm just making fun of myself here. I'd officially survived the resolution with Kirari and somehow managed to navigate the tabloid reporter's interrogation. And so, the day of the second audition for Mr. Makino's new film finally arrived. I'm so nervous that my chest hurts. I couldn't sleep well last night either. It's gonna be okay, right? It has to. You seem rather anxious. Is everything alright? Oh, sorry. I know I'm not the one auditioning for this, but I just can't relax. Understandable. But everything's up to Sena now. All you can do is believe in him and watch. Just had to believe. Latching onto those words, I took a slow, deep breath. Yeah, I'll be rooting for him. Good morning. Good morning. Still somewhat nervous, I followed Professor Asagi into the meeting room. The director, Mr. Hanai, and Makino were already seated at the judges' table. Hello, I've come to observe as well. Good. I want you to watch these auditions and Sena himself very closely. Oh, I will very much watch him closely, don't worry. That's right. Today, Sena needs to show more than his skills. Everything rides on today's performance. My heart rate is going up. I feel sick. What are you so nervous for? You're a judge today, so suck it up. Unless you want to make Sena nervous, too. You're right. That makes sense. He's the only one auditioning today anyway. Makino mumbled away to ease his own worries. Some of the other people in the room were obvious business types. One man who'd probably been chosen to represent the project's stakeholders bowed to the director. Thank you for your time. We hope this will lead to a positive outcome. Yes, that's what these auditions are for. However, I must reiterate that our stance on this matter has not changed. We still do not believe Yukito Sena is suitable to represent your work, Mr. Makino. I think it's really funny that this man thinks he knows better what Makino needs than what Makino fucking thinks. I mean, this right here is some fucking bullshit. This is like, I'm a man. I know what you need, lady. Excuse me. I know what I need. That bothers me so much. I have people that I stop being friends with because when I'm like, this is blah blah, and you explain like, nah, this is who I am. Oh no, you just need to do that. Excuse me? No. Like, I know I'm on the asexual end of the spectrum, right? I know I don't like casual sex. I'm not into it. Oh, you just need to find the right dick. Excuse me? That's like telling a lesbian, oh, you just happen to have the right man. I'm pretty sure she knows she likes vagina and not fucking dick. So getting the right dick isn't going to change that. Like, but the fact that, like, just another person, man or woman, is basically deciding for you that they know you better than you know yourself? Now, I understand that there's always a period when you're younger that you do, like, change and you do have to try to discover yourself and, like, people offering kind of helpful advice, like, well, you just need to try this or that. Like, if you're expressing that, like, I don't know if I like this or don't like it, or like a hobby or something, anything. I don't know where I fit here. Well, you just need to try different things, or maybe you need this, or whatever. Offering that kind of advice is fine if you're questioning something. But when you are like, I know for a fact that I am not good at knitting. Well, you just need to try. No, I'm not good at it, and I don't really enjoy it that much. Well, you just need to... No, I don't like it. You know what I mean? Like, you know yourself. You know what I mean? So, like, this annoys the fuck out of me because I've been on the receiving end of this too many times. With like, I know myself and I know I don't like XYZ. I don't care about that. Don't tell me that I need to do it. Like, I don't like casual sex. Don't tell me I need to just go out and fuck some random people. I'm well aware at my age what I like and don't like, and you can still always discover yourself as time progresses. Like, life is a journey of self-discovery. You will learn new things about yourself, change things about yourself as you go. It's not ever set in stone, but in this moment, I know exactly what I like and don't like. don't tell me that I need to I'm not questioning it. I'm not like, maybe, I don't know where that advice is helpful. I don't want to just fuck random people. Don't tell me I just need to go out and hop on some dicks. That's disgusting, and that's gross, and I feel creepy even like, no. And you get tired of explaining this to people when you're like, this is who I am, and they're like, no, you're not like that. Or like, just because I don't like being fat, I have no confidence. I can be pretty fucking confident in myself, but that doesn't mean that I'm happy to stay this way. I don't want to. I want to change that about myself. Doesn't mean that I, like, look down on other people. Like, oh, I know women who are heavier than you that are super confident. That's awesome for them. I would love to, be 100% happy in my body, but I'm not. That's just the way it is, and that's okay. That doesn't mean I can't be confident. Doesn't mean I'm not confident in who I am, or like if I put on clothes, I'm not like, I look awesome. But you're never always gonna feel that way. You know what I mean? So like telling me that no, you're not listening to what I'm saying. Like, I can be confident and still not be happy being fat. You could be totally confident and wanna get a boob job. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, self-improvement is part of life. You can never be, I am 100% everything about me is awesome. Well, you're full of shit, because that is never going to be true. You know what I mean? There are always self-doubts. There are always things you don't like about yourself. There's always things you want to change. That's natural. If you are out there saying that you are perfect and everything about you is great, you're full of shit and you have way more problems than anybody else who accepts that they have flaws. Because flaws are natural, you know? So, like, okay. Like, you know? But, like, so this guy being like, we don't think he would suit what you want. I feel like Makino knows better what he wants and what would suit his work, because it's his than you, random dude! God, that makes me mad. This is absolutely believable, but that was my, like, fucking TED Talk, thanks. But, like, God, that shit pisses me off. And I feel like Makino just needs to, like, lay this fucker out. Just punch him. We're busy people. This audition had better not be a waste of our time. We wouldn't even have to be here if you shut your fucking mouth and let the man decide for himself what works for him in his movies and his projects. I'm just... Ah! Why I'm not in industries like this, because I would say this shit to his face. A waste of time. Are you kidding me? Far from it, I thought. They're not even seeing Yukito for who he is. I like that we're being defensive about Yukito, but it's also like, this is where we have to defend Mr. Makino here. Like, maybe Makino should be in charge of what he thinks works for his movies and his vision. Are you Director Makino? No. Okay, then you don't have a say. Shut your fucking mouth. I can understand them being like, we don't like him, but we just don't think he works for your vision. That's not what it is. That's not what it is at all. Just say it straight up. We don't like him. Okay, that's fair. You don't have to like him. But don't put this in under the disguise of like, we don't think he fits your vision. Who knows Makino's vision better than Makino himself? I'm gonna rage quit. Not really. I'm not mad at the game. I'm mad at this man. And this is brilliant writing because this man just infuriates me for no reason. Indignant, I clenched my fist. I'm indignant on behalf of Makino, not even Yukito. I mean, right, yes, they are just judging Yukito on bullshit, and not who he is as an actor, or just the talent that he has, so that's bullshit, but they're also, like, acting like Makino can't decide for himself what works for his vision, and these people are assholes all around. You can decide whether it's worth your time after you watch Sena perform. You tell them, Mr. Makino! I should have said that with more anger and passion, but, like, now I'm just tired from my indignation. The director's stern words made the spokesperson frown. Very well. With that, he retreated as if to hide his dissatisfaction. We knew they were going to be like this. It looks like we're the only ones whose minds aren't made up yet. The point of this new audition was to prove that Yukito did in fact deserve the lead role. No one on the other side was rooting for him. But Yukito told me to trust in him. I needed to cheer him on. It's gonna be okay. I know it will. I mean, I know it will too, because he's gotten the role in every other route, so. Then it was time. Yukito Sena, please enter the studio! Here he comes. I wasn't the only one holding my breath. The air in the room suddenly grew tense. A moment later, Yukito stepped out. Oh my god, did he dye his hair? You can't do that! I mean, it looks good, but like... Anyway, whoa, what was right? Huh? Oh. Eh. Everyone's eyes were immediately drawn to Yukito. I couldn't believe it. His hair's black. Actually, it looks brown, but sure. Wearing a bold expression, he didn't shy away from the massive stares. Obviously, because, like, okay, I think it's really funny because it's like, we're in Japan and it's like everybody technically, but like, he's got blue eyes and blonde hair. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they do this and you're like, I mean, like, Kazuma being a hairdresser could have totally, like, bleached his hair and made it orange, like, whatever. But, like, freaking Harumi's got purple hair. Like, you know what I mean? So, like, with Yukito, you could be like, oh, like, I mean, he was bleaching his hair blonde because that was, like, more the model look. Like, okay, sure, fine. But, like, he's got blue eyes, so, like, you're not fooling me. His beauty, mysterious and captivating, was so stunning that we couldn't tear our eyes away. I think it's so funny that, like, I mean, it does, I mean, your hair color does make a difference, like, you know what I mean? But it's just funny because he still looks good either way, but, like, I'm not 100% sold on the darker hair on him. I don't dislike it, but we're just so used to his, like, blonde hair that, like, now I'm like, wait a minute. There was no trace of his slippery, flippant attitude. I get why he did it, exactly this. Like, if I change my hair color, they're going to see me differently. Especially in Japan, if we've learned anything from Persona 5, it's that everyone thought Ryuji was a delinquent because he bleached his hair. Like, you know what I mean? Like, in this day and age, it's weird. Everybody bleaches, dyes their hair, changes things, contacts, clothes. But, like, I get it. It seems like in the US where you're like, my hair's purple, my hair's orange, my hair's neon pink, like, whatever. Okay, nobody cares. Corporate America cares. Which is why the first time I saw someone with, like, colored hair at work, I was like, oh, like, it looks really cool. And when she made a comment, like, oh yeah, I said I'd dye it back if I needed to, but they didn't care, I was like, I work in corporate America. I can fucking dye my hair purple. And that's why I went purple. And that's why my hair's been bleached and dyed for years now. And we had a senior VP in the office that when I dyed my hair purple was like, oh, he's like, why, you know, why'd you choose purple? And I'm like, well, it's my favorite color. And I'm like, and I didn't think I could, like, bleach and dye my hair purple. And he looked at me and he's like, why? Who cares? Because, point. Who cares? My tattoos, my hair color, doesn't change my ability to do my job. I didn't all of a sudden go from, like, knowing how to do my job and being a professional to I have purple hair and now I'm an idiot. Like, you know what I mean? Like, my tattoos don't make me dumber or make me unable to do my job. You know? I mean, yeah, I get it, like, having tattoos all over your face is like, okay, that's a vibe that most people aren't gonna, but, like, I mean, tattoos on my body, I can hide them. I'm not walking around, like, most of my tattoos are on my shoulder or my ankles. So, like, you don't see them. I don't walk around in strapless tops. You know what I mean? And I understand the keeping an air of professionalism. Like, we can technically wear jeans and sneakers. You're not, but you're still not going to be like, you can't wear super short skirts or, like, short shorts. You can't wear shorts at all to work. But I'm kind of like, if I can wear a knee-length skirt, why can't men wear, like, shorts that go to, like, why is, I don't understand that necessarily. But, like, you can wear nice t-shirts. Again, they can't have offensive things on them. Like, I get it. There's casual professional. And, like, having tattoos or having a nose ring or an eyebrow ring or, like, multiple earrings or, like, your purple hair doesn't change your ability to do your job. And it's like, so corporate America slightly, some places are getting to the point where they're like, that's fine, you have pink hair, it's fine. But, like, I get it's still kind of like that in Japan with, like, the, well, blonde is seem, you know what I mean? There's something different about, there's still this slight stigma, I feel like. And I think that's Yukito going, like, I'm gonna dye my hair back because then they're gonna take me seriously, despite the fact that you having blonde hair doesn't change anything. But flipping it changes these stodgy, stuffy people's perception. But instead of them realizing your perception is bullshit, get the fuck out of that, we have to cater to their perception. And that's kind of stupid, but it is the way the world works. So we're slowly breaking that down, but you know. And Yukito's gonna break that wall a little bit by being like, see, I dyed my hair back, and now you're giving me a chance, and like, look how awesome I am. In your face! So good for him. Bravo, sweetie! I'm here for it! Anyway. In its place was a dark, irresistible charm that grabbed your attention and didn't let go. Bird, shut it! He's gorgeous. He's always been gorgeous. He looked right at me and smiled. Everything's gonna be okay. Seriously, Bird, stop! That smile, those eyes. He's definitely gonna ace this. Yeah, he's gonna make it. He positively would. I think it's funny that we say that like we had a doubt before. We're here from LP Production. Thank you for taking the time to come out today. This is Yukito Sena. As his manager introduced him, Yukito took a step forward. I'm Yukito Sena, and thank you for giving me this chance of a lifetime. I'll give it everything I've got. He was going to give it his everything. His words were succinct without seeming desperate. I doubted anyone expected that from him. I think it's just so funny seeing him with his hair. It's so different. But it was painfully obvious that the weight of his words meant what? But it was painfully obvious what the weight of his words meant to everyone present. I'm impressed with Sena. Lighting his hair black and changing his attitude. He's clearly thrown the sponsors off their game. Now this could be interesting. Straining my ears to hear Professor Asagi's musings, I swallowed hard. We'll now commence the audition for the new film. The prompt was freedom, but do you have anything prepared for us? Yukito nodded at the director and stood up tall. I do have a solo performance to show you today. The theme is A Man's Truth. Whispers rose up among the audience at this unexpected concept. What's he planning to do? Oh my god, are you going to confess your love to me on stage? I already know you love me, but this is fine. Public displays. And I'd appreciate your help with this, if that's alright. Sure. You need me? Yes. All you need to do is stand there. I need a listening party for this. Uh-huh. Director? Proceed. And the sponsor's okay with this too? I'm only gonna be a prop. The prompt was meant to give him complete freedom, yeah? Mr. and I grinned, and the man from earlier answered dispassionately. That's fine. It's up to Sena whether that helps him or not. Alright, I'll be your prop then. Just standing around's a little boring, though. So if you need me to respond, I'll do that too. With a chuckle, Mr. Hanai approached Yukito. Oh my god, you're gonna confess to Mr. Hanai? This is interesting. Good grief. What's he scheming now? Behind my mentor's exasperated smile, however, was a voice laced with anticipation. I love his, little endearing eyebrows. Yeah, I'm excited too! What were Yukito and Mr. Hanai going to show us? As I tried to imagine it, I found myself smiling. A moment later... his intense face... Actually, you know what? The intense face with the dark hair does look good. I like it, but... It's just different, you know? The two men broke from their huddle and faced the judges once more. First, Yukito stood in the center. Then he closed his eyes and sucked in a deep breath. And so it began. Oh, and then we get that CG, but with the dark hair! Oh, I love it. I know. I'm actually grateful. My dreams were crushed ones, but they aren't completely out of reach. I thought I'd truly lost everything, but this role has saved me. Aren't those lines from the short film? My gaze wandered to the judges, where the director, Professor Asagi, and Makino all seemed to have realized the same thing. This role saved me, huh? I sound like an idiot. How long am I going to drag this out? The lines changed? And then... and I, who'd been standing at the edge of the stage, slowly walked toward Yukito. Ah, come on! Spying on people's in poor taste, you know. Oh my god. He's reenacting when we were spying on him by accident! But Mr. Hanai is supposed to be us! I was kind of right he was gonna, confess to Hanai. Seriously, Bird! Shut it! You're being an asshole! You're being a bad bird! No, you're bad! You stop it! I told you I was recording and I was gonna be gone. You stop being a dick! You will not stop fucking screaming. I hate that fucking noise. I'm sorry, I don't mean to yell at him, but I need him to shut the fuck up because I can't stand that noise. He's being an asshole. He's normally fine down there. He'll scream a little bit, but he will not stop right now. And it is just like, goddamn. It's one thing when he chirps and he like flock calls, but this is goddamn obnoxious screaming because he knows it makes me pissed off. And they'll scream at him and he gets attention. But it's so hard to ignore when he's been doing it for like 40 fucking minutes. Anyway. Yukito smiled awkwardly and Mr. Hanai shrugged. At that, Yukito's face morphed into one of tired resignation. Say something, please. After all, I know myself better than anyone else does. I'm a Playboy model. No one's asking for any serious acting from me. And maybe no one even believes I can act. No one wanted this Playboy model to go down the path of an actor. Something about this performance was uncanny. Girl, come on. Wait, is Yukito himself the character? In other words, this man was actually him. The sponsors seemed to have sensed this and murmured among themselves. It's not as if I hate being a model. I think I have a knack for it and people like me. And I enjoy the job, of course. If I just wanted to maintain my public image, I could keep on doing it. I know that. I do. Mr. Hanai narrowed his eyes at Yukito's self-deriding tone. Why are you making a face like that? Didn't he say it was only going to be a prop? Yukito wasn't shaken by Mr. Hanai's ad-libbing. He smiled and let out a sigh. Can I ask you something, as your understudy? Actually, when I was first scouted, I wanted to be an actor. My old man was a relatively well-known producer, and I realized my ambitions from watching his work. I know, it's a cliché old story, and I get that an amateur who's never acted before can't just break into the industry. So I thought I'd build experience in showbiz as a model, and then later debut as an actor. And that's what I told myself when I started. At the time, anyway. Then why are you still... Yukito cut him off in a razor-sharp voice. The scandal. The scandal? Yes. I said my dad was well known, but he was run out of the industry years ago. He's always had a habit of chasing women. Once the media caught a whiff of that, they tore him apart. Especially when they started covering my entertainment debut as the son of the king of scandals. You can probably guess what happened next. No matter what I did, that poison followed me. I decided to build my career on it instead. I knew what people wanted from me, and I'd give it to them if that would sell. And that's how I became Yukito, the Playboy model. Yukito's pained smile was so heart-wrenching that I couldn't take it. Evidently, I wasn't the only one who felt that way. Oh, Yukito. The sadness in his manager's voice was real. After all, he'd supported Yukito all this time. I was reminded of the articles I'd found on the internet. Shocking! Promising young model's father discovered to be former A-list producer. Son of the king of scandals poised to continue his legacy. I found him flippant and carefree when we first met, too. And yet, these were the feelings he'd been hiding behind that veneer. Like I said, I don't hate my job, nor do I make light of it. I enjoy it, and some aspects are really fulfilling. Still, sometimes I wonder, what if I seriously pursued acting? What kind of roles would I be able to play? The lines you saw me practicing just now are from a long time ago, when I helped out in a high school play. The person who wrote the script was a girl I liked, so I really went all out. Really liked? My cheeks went warm at the comment. I was getting overwhelmed, but held it together. As I watched, he closed his eyes and smiled wanly, as if recalling an old memory. I still haven't forgotten what that felt like, and the intrigue of imbuing my character with my emotions, and the fun of creative collaboration, and not to mention seeing it come to life. Aww, and there he is. See, it hits different. I think I like him blonde a little better, because that's just what we've gotten used to seeing, but neither. Everyone had taken the script I wrote and breathed life and color into its world. Even now I remember how good that felt. I know these are just old regrets, but can you blame me if I get all sentimental about it? He raised his voice and forced a laugh. But Mr. Hanai seemed agitated, and he shot Yukito a fierce glare. You think you can fool me with that dumbass laugh? Oh. Oh boy, here he goes. You're just gonna lie down and take it now? Do you really think that's gonna be good enough? Like hell you do. It's written all over your face. I held my breath. I never seen such realistic acting from Mr. Hanai. I don't think he's acting. I don't think he's acting. I think he's basically like, don't you fucking give up, boy! Oh gosh, this is getting awfully heavy. Even if you were right, my career right now is... You're just fooling yourself with those pretty words, kid. Cowed by Mr. Hanai's energy, Yukito went quiet. No more words came from his lips. The weight of the silence pained my heart. And the sponsor's words echoed in my mind. When Yukito chose Mr. Hanai as his partner for this, whether or not it would help depended entirely on Yukito himself. After a few moments, Mr. Hanai barreled on. You're doing well, it's true. You got a good agency backing you, and you're giving the public what they want. But how long can that go on? You keep lying to yourself, pretending to ignore how you really feel. Can you honestly say you won't regret that? I feel like Hanai's being totally true right now. Stop being such a poser and shout out the truth. Show me who you really are deep down inside. Yukito didn't move. He stared at the ground, chewing on his lip. The silence went on for 5 seconds. 10. Eventually, the sponsors got to muttering again. This just shows the difference in their skills. Picking Takaya Hanai was the wrong move, huh? Looks like it's over. You're wrong. Yukito isn't finished. When we locked eyes today, I felt his confidence. Yukito wouldn't let us down. I closed my eyes at the voices around me and willed him to succeed with all my heart. You can do it! You can do it! Like he heard me inside. I wished for him to move. I wished for him to say something. A moment later, as if my inner thoughts had reached him, Yukito's head snapped up. Then he made his move. Okay, well, someone's getting pinned, but it isn't me. Huh? As if driven by a sudden impulse, Yukito grabbed Mr. Hanai by the collar and fixed him with a steely glare. Look at his angry face, it's kind of hot. Who do you think you're talking to? You want me to yell? To tell the truth? No one wants that from me. We live in a world of professionals. That kind of logic won't work on anybody. Wow. So what? I'm asking what you want to do. How you want to live. How you really feel. Yeah, and I'm saying... Spit it out! Scream it out loud! Do you want to be an actor or not? Do you want to just cut the crap and fight as the man you really are? Once again, Mr. Hanai tried to wrench Yukito free of his facade. Yukito scowled something fierce. And then... Of course I want to be an actor! I can't really scream impassionedly in Yukito's voice. I'm doing my best. His bellow echoed through the room. Public image, opinion, none of that matters. I don't know if I have what it takes, but... Tears were flowing down Yukito's cheeks. He had reached down inside and brought out his true self. Now he was laying it bare. Surely no one in this room had seen him like this before. In this moment, he was desperate, tearful, utterly guileless. And yet, he was so beautiful that no one could bear to look away. I want to change. I don't want to be the man that people want, but to compete as who I really am. I want to struggle. As Yukito mustered the full strength of his voice, I started crying too. I've always wanted to do that. Yukito slowly let go of Mr. Hanai, his face red and soaked with tears. His head seemed to slump down as he backed away from Mr. Hanai. No one in the room made a peep. Silence reigned. We'd all been taken captive by the echoes of his performance. I inhaled deeply. Beg of you, recognize how serious Yukito is. Give his determination a chance. I prayed with all my heart. Then show me. Huh? The director's remarks sent a ripple of surprise through the room. You've shown us your resolve. I want to create this film with you. I'll take on that challenge. Do you have the confidence for it? I know Makino's like, fuck the sponsors. Did he have the confidence? Yukito froze at the question, dumbstruck. A long moment passed. And then, like a flower coming into bloom, his face lit up with absolute radiant confidence. Of course. And that's why I came here today. His words were like a signal that triggered a thunderous wave of applause. It didn't just come from his biggest supporters, like Professor Asagi and Makino. Everyone in the room was clapping, even the sponsors. And then everyone clapped. But, like, literally they are. He did it! Yes, yes, yes! I cried as the announcement reverberated through the room. The outcome of this audition is... Yukito Sena, you pass. There wasn't a single objection. That was the moment when Yukito showed his naked determination to the world. It's funny because, like, Makino's like, you pass! Like, he was the one doubting him, but, like, the sponsors didn't say anything. Son of a bitch, that was the end. Alright, well, okay. I was gonna end the part here, but, like, we're at the end. I did not think his route was really, really short. Because, like, I was fully expecting to have, like, 3 more parts left. And, like, we'll have, like, the one with all the other, like, the good end and, like, all of that. But, me throwing my remote on the floor. But, yeah. Not, any, like, that's still 2 parts less than everybody else. I wasn't expecting that. I think one, like, the last part went over, like, 20 minutes. You know what I mean? And I feel like but I think some of the parts, even still, I feel like that would have only pushed us, like, 1 part more. But, like, yeah, so, like, huh. Anyway, wasn't expecting it to be that short and everything like that. But, it is what it is. The funny part is I was like, this is the perfect time to stop this, and now we're doing the credit scene and everything like that, and we're gonna do his route, but, like, I don't... Anyway. Yeah, I like Yukito's route. It kind of, like, I mean, I guess it makes sense that it ends here, but I, like, wasn't fully expecting that, but yet at the same time, it makes total sense, and, like, whatever, but, yeah. I still like Yukito Blonde better. I think that's just who we're used to seeing. I understand why he dyed his hair, and I absolutely think it worked in his favor. You know what I mean? Like, I get what he was doing there, but, like, it's strange. It's, like, to get used to and change. All of them are just changing. Makino's change was still the most goddamn amazing. I'm not gonna lie, but, yeah. Alright, so I know that technically this is after the credits and this is, like, the end of the game. But I'm just thinking I don't have a full hour to record today. And Makino's after story stuff was like 30 minutes plus looking at the CGs and stuff. And so I'm thinking that I might just stop here and do the after credit stuff. In the next part, it'll be a shorter part, but then we can go through the CGs and stuff. Just because his is also a lot shorter than I was expecting it to be, which, I mean, isn't a bad thing, but as we know, I'm trying to make sure I get ahead and I have enough stuff recorded because there's going to be, like, a period of, like, 2 to 3 weeks where I can't record. So cutting down a couple of parts, that's making it a little more difficult for me. So I was not anticipating having less stuff to go up. If things went a little over, that would have been awesome, but... So I'm gonna be a little selfish here and be like, instead of having an hour and a half long part, we're just gonna cut it here. We'll do this 30 minutes in the next thing. This way I can, So it'll be a shorter part, but it's just with Makino's when we did Makino's stuff. It was like it was like an hour and a half long part, and even though I would just stop and I would just edit it together, it's like, we're gonna do that in a separate part. So I'm gonna stop here. We'll see all of this after credit scene stuff next time. And then we'll do all of his other. So we'll still technically get, I guess, 2 more parts instead of the 3 I was expecting. But hey, it's still better than being done in the next one. And oops. Anyway, sorry I dropped my remote, but I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.